Hello everyone, this is Raj here. Welcome to the world of Salesforce. Today is the day 11 class where we are going to discuss security features part 3. In this, we are going to discuss the role hierarchies and the OWD, organization wide default settings. Okay, so we are going to discuss this. So under this, we are going to discuss some more topics also. Let us discuss one by one here. So what is here role hierarchy? What is the role here? So first of all, going to going to in detail of this topic. So let us discuss step by step. So what is the role here? So I'm taking here a organization, right? Example, I'm taking one organization. So in that particular organization, we are having number of employees. In a particular organization, we are having number of employees, and each employee is assigned a separate designation or a separate role to him, right? Where he is working, what is the role of him, right? So we are giving some particular designation, or we can say the role designation, or we can say the role to him, right? And by means of these roles only, we are going to categorize them as in hierarchy levels. So who is the lower level, who is the higher level? So based on these roles only, we are going to decide whether he is an employee or whether he is a manager, whether he is a president, right? Whether he is a CEO, like that. So based on this role, so we are going to categorize them as in role hierarchies, right? So let me go into the Salesforce and show you quickly. Go to the Salesforce, go to the setup. Under quick find, check for roles. See here, right? Under users menu, we are having roles. Click on this roles. Right now, see here. So setup roles. See setup roles. So this is the role hierarchy. Looks like simple. So in a picturatic format. So CEO or CFO, vice president. So in which it is categorized into director, Western sales director. See here, sales director, sales director. Okay. Let me set up some roles here. See, Salesforce is my organization. If you can see here, Salesforce is my organization. Okay. Under Salesforce, we are having CEO, who is the main head. So expand this CEO. So under CEO, we are having CFO, COO, some designations are there. Right? Under CEO, these are the some of the designations we are having. So expand this CFO. See, nothing is there. So under CFO, I'm not having any roles here. So as per system, by default, system is giving CEO and CFO. Right? So see, under CEO, we are having financial officer. See, COO is there. Operating officer. If you want to add technical officer, technology officer, yes, you can add. And under technology officer, I am going to add my designations. So whatever the designations in my company I'm having. So let me add under the Salesforce company. Let me add some designations under the CEO. See here, add role. There is an option known as add role. Click on this add role. So let me give him as CTO, technology officer. Okay, who comes under the CEO? That means CTO should report to the CEO. CTO should report to the CEO. Okay, next same and new. Let me create one more one. Here, let me create vice president. Okay, vice president should report to CTO, chief technology officer. So select CTO. See here, CTO. Click on this. Vice president should report to CTO. Save and new. Next, BU head, right? Business unit head. So business unit head should report to the vice president, not directly to the CEO. So vice president, where is vice president? Under the CTO. See, vice president is there. Okay, click on save and new. Like this, I'm going to create a hierarchical structure in my business. So next, program managers. Program managers are there. So program managers should report to the business unit heads. So where is he? Under the vice president, he is there. So save and new. Next, under the program managers, project managers will be there. Okay, project manager. Okay, so he should report to program manager. Okay, save and new. Next, technical leads. Technical leads. Okay, he should report to the project manager. Save and new. And under the technical lead, we are having senior software engineer, associate software engineer, right? Like this, I'm having all this. So let me add this software engineer. SE, who should report to the technical lead. Save and new. Associated software engineer. Right? Associate engineer should report to the same technical lead only. Okay, save it. Now my hierarchical structure is ready. So let me check. See, under the Salesforce, I'm having CTO, right? So under the CTO role, I'm having the vice president. Under the vice president, I'm having different roles are there. As of now, there is only roles present. No users are assigned to these roles. Right? If you want to assign a particular roles, if you want to assign a particular roles to any users, two ways we can assign. See here, from directly go to the roles. So select your particular role. Let us say I'm the technical lead. So I'm going to assign this to my user. Where is this? So SF training batch, right? Who is the system admin? So I am going to assign it. Simply select this and select and save it. That's it. Done. So I have been assigned, the system administrator has been assigned technical lead. Now one more testing user I have given, right? So for this testing user, I am going to assign associate engineer, not from here. So I have already shown from here how to assign. So another way of assigning is go to this testing user, see edit, click on edit. If you can see here role. So what is the role? What is the role? Associate engineer, right? Associate engineer. Save it. That's it. Now what is the use? So I have created the roles. I have created the hierarchies. So I have assigned the users to these particular roles. Then what is the use of it? So as of now, we have seen the under the profiles, under the Salesforce system permissions, under the permission sets, we have seen object level and field level security. How we are going to control the object creation, how we are going to control the fields editing, right? How we also control, right? In this way, we are controlling the object level. So we don't create records in the objects. So don't edit the records. You are going to not delete the records. And for field level, so don't edit this particular field. So like this, I am going to restrict by means of this profiles and permission sets. Object level and field level, I am going to restrict it. But what about already we have created some of the records, right? So let's say how many records are there? Only one record. Let me create one more record here. This is the test 2 record. Save it. Okay. Let me create one more record. Test 3. Save and new. Test 4. Okay. Like this. For example, in our organization, total 4 records are there. Right? 4 records are there. And this particular Raj record is there, right? This should be visible. right? So whatever the record created by a lower role person, only those records should be visible to him. And for example, I have created, I means a testing user. A testing user has created Raj record, right? Then he can able to see only Raj record. That's it. Now, as a system admin, I have created another 3 records, right? Now I can able to see my records and as well as my junior records. Who is my junior? Whoever the hierarchy, the lower hierarchy is there, right? So, but the testing person cannot able to see my records. What are the records created by me? Right? System admin created records he cannot see. Right? Only so how I am going to restrict it? How I am going to restrict them? Okay. So first of all, we need to restrict under the profile and permission set level. Right? If there the restriction happens, first object level and field level restriction happens there. And next coming to the record levels. So if for example already records are present here, how I am going to restrict them? Right? By means of this profile, by means of this permission set, okay, it is fine. Now coming to this roles. So based on the hierarchy level, the records is automatically is going to visible to them. Right? That means associate engineer records will be visible to technical lead, and technical plus associate will be visible to the project manager, and these 3 persons record will be visible to the program manager, and these 4 persons records will be visible to the hierarchy level like this. Like this, the hierarchy continues. But the higher person, who is the CEO records or vice president records, whoever the higher persons are there, those records will not be visible to the lower role persons. Okay, got it? So this is about a role hierarchy where we are going to use this role hierarchy. So as of now, role hierarchy I have given, very good. So roles I have created, hierarchy I have created and assigned to the particular users. And now role hierarchy is working, right? So where to provide these role hierarchies? That means record level. Under the record level securities, where I am going to provide this. So first coming to this, whenever any record is restricted, that means, so whenever any record is restricted, so now the record is closed like this, right? I want to provide the access. I want to extend the access. I want to extend it wings, right? So by means of, there is a one option known as OW for wherever the records are restricted. So I want to restrict the records, right? So under the OWD option, so first of all, the records are I am going to make it as restricted. That means private I am going to keep. So what happens? And next, if the record is private, see here, if the record is private, OWD is private. I will show you where to keep this private. So, but I want to extend the wings. There is some option. But still, some more access I want. There is some more option. Again, still, I want full access. Yes, we can extend up to the full access. I will show you what are all these steps. If the OWD is private, that means very limit access is there. See here, only very limit access. Here some access is extended. Here extra access is extended. Here full access is extended. How I am going to extend the access and how I am going to keep them as a private. So first step to keep them as a private, the records, to keep the records as a private. So go to the setup. How we are going to restrict the visibility of the records to all inside the organization. Right? What is the OWD here? We are going to restrict the visibility of the records to all inside the organization. We are using this OWD. Right? Here, I can manage the records. By using this OWD, which records should be visible to whom? To whoever inside the organization are there. Like business unit head, vice president, or something, technical managers, project managers, software engineers, to whom I want to show the records. All this I can control under the OWD. Right? For every object, we are having a specific OWD options. Right? For every options, for every object, we are having a specific OWD options. So what are the general OWD options are available? I will show you. In general, we are having OWD options are available as private. So the first option is private, and the second option is public read-only access I can give, right? And public read write I can provide, and public read write transfer, right? And public full access. If no access to be provided, no access. View only access, use access, controlled by parent access. Controlled by parent. That means whatever the option we are providing for the parent, the same will be inherited to the child objects. So controlled by parent. So, but here all these options will not be visible to the all objects. There is some restriction in the Salesforce, right? So only few options will be visible to few objects. So what are all those? So for example, this private, public read only, public read write, only these three options. 1, 2, 3. These three options will be applicable for all standard and the custom. For all standard and the custom objects, these three objects, except one price book option, except one price book object. There is a one object known as price book. So for that object, these three options are not visible. Okay. And there is a one more option, right? Public read write transfer option. This extra option, public read write transfer, this extra option will be applicable for lead and case. For lead and case, this option is applicable, right? And public full access is there. So this option is available on campaigning object, right? Public full access will be available on campaigning object, campaign. This is for lead and case objects. And this is for all standard and custom, except a price book object. Okay. And here, no access, view only, and use options will be applicable for this price book. Whatever the options not available under the private, public read and public read write. So these three options are not there for price book, right? So then these three options given for the price book, no access, view only, use given for the price book object, right? And controlled by parent. This option is applicable only for the child objects, right? Which is having a mainly master detail relationships. So till now the relationships are not completed. Once this OWD is completed, security features are completed, the topic, then I will continue on this relationships. Okay. So let me show you inside the Salesforce what are all these options, how we are going to assign them. So go to the setup. So here sharing settings, you are having this option sharing settings. See, under the security menu, we are having the sharing settings. Click on this. See, all these are OWD options. Default sharing settings. So OWD organization wide default. Right? So see, by default options are there. Come down, come down. See, our custom objects are also there. Doctor, employee, patient. For each and every object, there is an option. See, all are, as of now, all are private. Some are, see, click on edit this. For lead and case, what I said, there is an option, public read write transfer. Along with these three, there is a one more option. Right? For remaining, for example, see accounts, where is the account? Account and contract. See, public reader, only three options are there. Like this for custom objects also. If you see our custom objects also, only three options. Private, public, read and write. Okay. Now, there is a one more option, right? Now I am keeping the records as a private here. Now I am keeping the records as private. That means no records should be visible to the other persons. Right? So if you are creating the record, only that record is visible to you. It will not be visible to the other person. But there is a one checkbox here. What is this checkbox? If I am going to grant the access using hierarchies, see here. That is the way. That is the why we have created the role hierarchies. So if we check the checkbox here, that means if any doctor record or employer record I have created. So based on this permission. So what is the permission I have given here? So grant the access using hierarchies. So if the junior employee, that means associate engineer, have created the records. So obvious, of course, it is a private. I have extended the access. Of course, it is a private. Initially, let us say if it is like this. Now save this. Now save this. So now, see, employee record. It will take a few seconds to complete the changes. Okay. So once the changes are applied in the Salesforce, so see here, if you are saying, if you are applying the changes in the employee object or doctor object or patient, so all the custom objects you have applied the changes, right? Now, if the junior employee, that means junior software engineer, created some of the records, only those records will be visible to him only, not to the other persons. Hierarchy. So now I am the hierarchy, technical lead person. I am also unable to view these records. So my hierarchy, my managers are also not able to view the records. When we can view the records, so if this particular checkbox is still it is not activated, refresh the screen. So once it is activated, see here, now these three checkboxes are gone. Three checkboxes are unchecked, right? So now try to create records using testing user, right? And check with the other user. Those records will not be visible to him, to the other persons. Those records created by the testing user will not be visible to the other persons, right? Now, if I want to provide, I want to extend the access. I don't want to give the complete, see here full access is now, let me make it as a all private, right? Save this. Now, so after making it as a private, so now it is public, right? Initially, in every business organization, the records will be private only. So if you go and check the OWD settings in every organization, every business, so the OWD settings will be private only. So later on, if they want to extend the access, they can extend by means of step by step, step by step. So today we are seeing one step, that is role hierarchy. See, now the records are private. Now try to create records using testing user. So using testing user, I have created, let me create one more testing user. Login as this user. Right. Now try to create one record here. Sorry. Employees. There is no new option. Okay. So later on give this new option for this profile and try to create a new record here. So let me give access from the profile level, or let me go here, go to the user, testing user, go to this permission set, custom permission set, right? So now go to this object settings, Control F, employee. Click on edit and provide the create access. Save it. Right now, go to your employee Salesforce testing user again. Log in as him. Login as him. Now go for employee. See here, new button is there. Now click on this new. Let me create employee record. Employee record. Okay. Now save this. See, employee record has been created. Now try to create one more user in your Salesforce with other profile. Right. So try to create like one more user, technical lead or manager. Right. Manager user, create one manager user and try to see whether this employee record is visible to him or not. No, it is not visible, but because the record is private, only it is visible to this particular testing user only. But because he is the owner, right? But I want to show this particular record to my hierarchies. So who is the hierarchy of this testing user? Salesforce admin. Right? SF admin, who is the user I have created, right? So that particular Dhanraj, for example, here Dhanraj. So Dhanraj can view the records of employee if this particular checkbox is true. Let me go to the setup, go to the sharing settings, log out from this user, go to the sharing settings, click on edit button, come down. If I want to show the records, whatever the records are created by the lower role person, so he want to show the records to he want to share the records to the hierarchy persons. So then he needs to click on this checkbox as true. Then even though the records are private, the records only visible to the hierarchy person, not to the other persons, not your co-employees. So for example, if your friends are there, so you are the junior employee and your friend is also junior employee and your one more friend is also junior employee, right? You three working under the technical lead. You three users are working under the technical lead, right? But these three individual records will be visible to the technical person, not to these individual three persons. Okay. Now save this. Right. So hierarchy wise, for example, technical lead is there. So under this technical lead, I am having three persons: engineer 1, engineer 2, engineer 3. So engineer 1 record will be visible to technical lead. Engineer 2 record will be visible to technical lead. Engineer 3 record will be visible to technical lead if the checkbox is true. Okay. But engineer 1 record will not be visible to engineer 2. Engineer 2 record will not be visible to engineer 3. Like this, vice versa. That means these three records will not be shared with these three each other. Right? Among them, these three among them, the records will not be shared. Because the records are private. But the checkbox is I have extended the access using role hierarchies. So I have extended the access. That means even though the records are private, so that when the checkbox is true, the hierarchy checkbox is true, the records are shared to the hierarchical person, only to the technical lead. Right? Technical lead and whoever is the hierarchy is there. So those hierarchical person, the record will be shared. So that means here the role hierarchy. Okay, this is the second step. So initially, I'm making the OWD as private here. That means the records will be visible to the only the owner of the record, owner of the particular record. That's it. So if I want to extend the access, then I can use this role hierarchies. And still two more steps are there. So in the next class, we are going to discuss about these two steps. What are these two steps? How we are going to still extend the access to those records. I want to share the records. right? Even though the record is private, even though the record is private, I'm not going to change the OWD settings. OWD settings are always should be private only, because the records are very, very confidential, right? The customer information lies in this records only. So the records are very confidential. So you need to keep them as a private. So whoever you want, so I can extend the access like this. Okay. So reminding these sharing, how we are going to sharing, automated sharing, manual sharing. So these things we are going to discuss in the next class. Right? Keep following this channel for the latest updates. If you are having any doubts, right, please mention in the comments. I will respond in those comments. Thank you.